The latest headlines in the Ivy League, covered through exclusive interviews right now. From campus to campus, go around the Ancient Eight with Brian Seltzer, Thursdays on the Ivy League Digital Network. Football.
Our opening stop this week for football all across the conference. Ross Tucker, the former Princeton lineman of the NBC Sports Network. You can hear him on Sirius XM as well. He has the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, and his Twitter handle is @RossTuckerNFL. All right, Ross, 3 weekends to go in the Ivy League season. What's stood out to you the most so far?
Probably two things that really jumped out. Number one is how well Yale is playing offensively. I mean, they are a juggernaut. I don't think anybody thought that Yale would be able to come out and have over 600 yards of offense, over 40 points a game. The other thing was Harvard's domination of Princeton. I don't think anyone anticipated that. Harvard, once again, looks like the team to beat. And I'm not sure that's as surprising as the way in which they've gone about it, beating Princeton, beating Dartmouth, both of them by double digits.
This Saturday, Ross, you and the NBC Sports Network crew have Penn Princeton in Princeton, 3:30. Final edition of the rivalry for longtime Penn head coach Al Bagnoli. How would you put his 23 years into context?
Well, he's the best coach that I've been around in the Ivy League, and the proof is in the pudding. The 9 outright titles is simply amazing, and the consistency on a year-in and year-out basis, and really they come across as being among the most well-coached teams in the league year in and year out. I've loved their model of the type of players they recruit and the type of offensive and defensive schemes that they've run.
That is Ross Tucker, and he knows Ivy League football inside and out of the NBC Sports Network, broadcasting this Saturday's Penn-Princeton game. You can also hear him on Sirius XM and check out the Ross Tucker Football Podcast and the Ross Tucker NFL Twitter handle. Ross, thanks so much for the insight.
My pleasure, Brian.
Soccer.
Moving along to Cambridge, Massachusetts with Bill Spalding. He calls Harvard women's soccer matches on the Ivy League Digital Network. Bill, heading towards a real high-stakes final Saturday of the regular season. Harvard a point ahead of Dartmouth in the standings, but not in the clear yet, and that's because the Big Green shut out the Crimson last Saturday. Harvard can clinch with a win over fourth-place Columbia. So just how are the Crimson feeling right now heading into this vital matchup?
I think they're confident, but it is a different situation for them than last year. Last year they had locked up the Ivy League championship with a whole extra game to go. They beat Dartmouth at home last year to clinch the Ivy League championship. So this year it is a high-pressure game because if Harvard does not win, then they need some help, whereas a win can still close the door for them. But that was the first loss in Ivy League play in almost 2 full calendar years for this Harvard team. So maybe a little bit of a surprise, but at home they're a pretty comfortable team. And I think they are really motivated going into this matchup against Columbia.
Compelling implications all the way through the final date of the regular season calendar in 2014 for Ivy League women's soccer. Bill Spalding will broadcast Harvard, Columbia this Saturday on the Ivy League Digital Network. Bill, enjoy the weekend.
Thanks a lot. You too.
Another exciting race on the men's side of the soccer standings in the Ivy League. And for more on that, we'll touch base with Jeff O'Connor of GoPrincetonTigers.tv. Jeff, Princeton making a big push into first place, now tied with Dartmouth. The Tigers undefeated in their last 6 matches after a dramatic 2-1 win at Cornell. Now they have Penn this Saturday. Penn 2 points behind them. The Quakers, the defending Ivy League champions. What got Princeton going, Jeff, after that 1-2-2 start to the year?
It's easy to point out, but Cameron Porter, the senior forward, leads the Ivy League in goals. He's extremely talented, but what's more than that, his talent goes along with his hard work ethic and his smarts. He knows where to be in the right spots. It should be a tremendous matchup. I mean, it's so clogged up right now. Penn, they're right in the mix. But it should be a tight one. Really, there haven't been very many blowout games this year inside the Ivy League, so I wouldn't expect anything except a close, tight contest Saturday.
Jeff O'Connor of GoPrincetonTigers.tv has been following men's soccer for the Tigers all season long. Jeff, appreciate the insight.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it.
That's all for this week's installment of Around the Ancient Eight. Talk to you next Thursday right here on the Ivy League Digital Network.
This has been Around the Ancient Eight, highlighting headlines from the Ivy League. Check out new episodes premiering Thursdays on the Ivy League Digital Network.